Now we're here to chat about the book, and the state is actually in court today appealing Oscar's conviction. They want it to be a murder conviction, so I thought it would be quite nice to start off with your Oscar cartoons. So let's go over to page 10. We've bookmarked our.
Yeah, well, there's so many cartoons I've done on Oscar. In the previous book, I think it's in the previous two books on Oscar, of course. And then into this book, and there will be more.
You must feel like you know him on a level the rest of us don't by doing so many cartoons.
Up to a point. Certainly, I kind of look at people and I look at how they come across and I look at their face and I follow follow things. But in his case, he's not somebody that I don't necessarily feel I really know him better than other people.
Now,
sometimes I do.
Before we get into the cartoons, what do you think of the appeal that's
I think I always thought it would be appealed because I must say, even as a lay person on justice, but following the case, I was really surprised, not at the eventual the verdict, but during the verdict, when the judge said he couldn't have known that he would kill anyone behind that door.
I think a lot of people were surprised by that.
Let alone knowing that he would kill Reeva Steenkamp. I admit that the state didn't necessarily provide enough evidence to show that he knew that he was killing Reeva Steenkamp. I'd like to think that they could still push it. Because I think it's important that it does actually get taken on appeal. But at the very least, that he absolutely knew that he would in all likelihood kill whoever was behind that door. That's very important. That's the essence of what they're hearing today.
Do you think the state will win their appeal?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a controversial opinion, I think. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens in court. Now, this cartoon is one of the earlier ones. Talk us through what's going on.
But hang on, I think just to be clear, the state has appealed, and this what they're hearing now at the moment is that the defense is trying to, in a sense, block the state's appeal.
Right.
So, which I think is a futile attempt. So, let's be clear on that. I think the state's appeal will go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at one of the first cartoons in the book. This is from October 2014. Talk us through what's going on here.
Actually came from a reader's idea, which I always acknowledge if that happens, but I really loved the idea. It was very hard to put together. If Oscar gets house arrest with electronic tagging, and then if Oscar gets house arrest with electronic tagging, and I did it very carefully, so you see him sort of going out to jail with his friends, and
his tag is left behind.
His tag is on the prosthetic leg. I mean, I thought it was a great idea. The idea was sent to me in two parts, and I couldn't work out which part came first. So I had to find a way, which is what I call taking the eye for a walk, so you actually read it and feel it and get the gist of it in one take.
Do a lot of people send ideas to you?
Yeah, I mean, I probably get 20 ideas for every one, or 20, 25 ideas for every one that I can use.
Oh, wow.
And that's sometimes because I've already done things on the subject, sometimes because I don't really rate the idea, sometimes because sometimes people send me ideas of things that I've already done, sometimes years before, they've maybe seen already. And then every now and then an absolute gem comes through. Sometimes the ideas are too esoteric, they're just too out there and off the beaten track for me to use, my 4 cartoons a week, even if they're great ideas. But I love getting the ideas, and I always acknowledge, certainly if I use them, and even if I don't.